There is one thing. No, actually, it was really good. There was, because I hadn't realised that Brassic was back, Sky One's comedy, and not only that, I hadn't realised that I'd missed an entire fucking season, and the fourth season had just finished airing. So I had 2 seasons of Brassic to catch up on, which I quite like. But I watched something else that kind of escaped me. So I kind of came back to it, and that was, well, there was 2 things. There was this thing that with Simon Pegg called the Undeclared War, which aired on Channel 4. And that was really fucking good, actually. So kind of scary, set in 2024, and basically set in GCHQ, and about a Russian plot to basically sow discontent through hacking. And they actually got the hacking much more realistic than Hollywood depicts. They didn't go like tap 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 on the keyboard, I'm into the most secure fucking system on the planet. No. There was a lot more of sort of real code stuff. That was really good. Now, we covered something on here a while back. Nigel got us onto it. Do you remember the thing called The Capture, which was about deepfake?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, Keith. We're not live on YouTube. Fuck it, we'll do it. We'll just do it and then record it and drop the recording onto thingy. I think we're live on Twitch.
Wow.
So yeah, we're always live on Twitch when we do these things.
We're not, unfortunately, on Twitch. We're not in bikinis and oiling ourselves down. So no.
Hot tub, nice. Keith, all we have to do is hot tub.
Right. I've got boobs. I can oil them down.
So yeah, I didn't watch that. What was it called? The deepfake thing you're talking about.
The capture.
Yeah.
It did. That was season 2 was really good. They could bring it back for a season 3, but they kind of ended it in a way. But it was generally quite good. But I do recommend the Undeclared War. It was surprisingly good. It needs a season 2 though, because it left things kind of rather open. But it was good. Simon, I mean, it had a fucking cast. I mean, it got Mark, what's his face? Rylance. It had Simon Pegg. I mean, it had a bit of a cast. So Pegg was really good in this, actually.
Cool.
So I quite enjoyed that. Enjoyed The Capture. I haven't watched She-Hulk, unfortunately.
I don't think anyone's watched bloody She-Hulk. I think everyone's given up, because I think this week it was She-Hulk buys a suit and doesn't realise tailors exist.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I saw like the trailer to the Secret Wars is coming, right? And all they are doing is, right, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson, fucking massive fucking movie star, right? No denying it, fucking world famous movie star. The trailer on all of the YouTube thing for Secret Wars mentions Olivia Colman and what's her face, and no mention of Samuel L. Jackson in the title. It's just shocking what Marvel are doing now. I mean, you've got, not only that, it's not a white man, so you can put him in the title. It's a right Marvel. But no, we've gone full MCU, so now we're not even going to put any men. We're not even going to promote any male.
I'm done with the MCU. I think I watched the what do you call it, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and I wish it would have just been called Doctor Strange versus Wanda. That would have been more honest, and I probably would have preferred it, and would have set my brain up for what to expect. But I watched that, and I spent my time going through it, going, what would Dumbledore do? Seriously, I'm thinking about a completely different franchise and a wizard that's, a fictional in another universe, and asking what they would do, because Dumbledore always had like a 3-strategy approach. Yeah, he had like his background, espionage. He had his direct, and then he had his indirect one, which he always ran. And it's like Doctor Strange doesn't think, because wizards were supposed to be like tricky little bastards, like Gandalf in Thingy, where it's like kind of like the fact that Pippi and Merry are a bit dumb. So they look like the hobbits that are going to destroy the ring, so everyone thinks that they're the hobbits. Yeah. But nothing like that in Doctor Strange. He became the stupidest person, and if you watch him in Infinity War, he was like, "No, I've got a plan," and he went all wizard-like, and we're like, "Nice one." And then this one's like, "What the what's going on here?"
There has not been a good MCU film, with the exception of Spider-Man, since Infinity War.
Sony, that doesn't count.
So exactly. I don't include that. Because although it had Doctor Strange in it and he was really good in it, it was still predominantly Sony, and therefore not suffering from the same bullshit that is coming out. And Mr. Feige, you can stick this is a Kevin Feige production on it.
Oh no, that's just a sign of the quality of poop.
Yes.
Yeah. The only one that's going to be any good is going to be the James Gunn one. Which is the not Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Probably might do Suicide Squad 3 for all we know.
Although we got the Guardians Christmas special coming out in a couple of months. Still haven't had a trailer for that. But that is coming.
Yeah.
I'm not... I don't think I'm excited about anything on Disney+. I'm going to give Andor a try. Purely... because unlike any of the other fucking Star Wars series, they've actually been making this for nearly 3 years. And it's made in England. Not that that means anything, but it's made and shot here, where at the same place that the original Star Wars was made. So for that reason, I will give it a go. I will probably be disappointed.
Right. So for me, I'm not going to even bother touching it until the series comes to an end. Yeah. So I'm going to wait until everyone's finished doing what it is, because if it starts off well, goes to the middle bit, and then turns into it's all Mon Mothra, and it's her's the one that should be, she's the one who's responsible for everything, and nobody else had any hands in it, and she was amazing. And it's like, well, if she's so fucking amazing, how did the Emperor come to power? You bellends. Right. Man, it's
I mean, look, we've got a lot of good TV at the moment. As I said, I kind of enjoyed The Capture. That was a female-led series, but the men weren't portrayed as stupid. There was a nasty white man, but there was also a very nice white man. So there was none of that bullshit in it. It was just good. I enjoyed the Undeclared War. It paints the Conservatives as a bunch of morons, so it is. You could say it's very lefty, but it was a good story.
It's realistic, but it's very lefty.
I think it's realistic if you actually witness if you look at without going down the political. I think there was a realistic edge to it without going down a political route. I mean, yes, there was some lesbian friends in it, but again, it kind of, in a weird way, felt natural. It wasn't. They didn't. Oh, we've got to have lesbians in it. It was written in such a way that you could absolutely understand why one of the characters did what she did. And it really made sense, because they went to lengths to explain what the character was going through, and you go, okay, I understand why this character just jumped into bed with another woman. I completely get it, actually. So it didn't feel contrived. It didn't feel like, oh, we're putting this in here because look at how woke we are. It was there for a very good reason. And I hope they come back to that in season 2. If there is a second season of it, which there kind of needs to be. I really enjoyed it, because it was something. For the first time, I saw quite a unique way of showing how somebody does hacking. Because I mean, without going into too much level detail, right? It starts off with this very slim Muslim girl walking down the road, and she comes across a manhole cover, right? Or person hole cover, sorry. But as Billy Connolly says, until a woman shows an unwhelming desire to be knee deep in fucking shit, it's a fucking manhole cover. But anyway, she looks at this manhole cover and she can't lift it. And then suddenly a tool belt appears and she pulls out a winch that lifts up the thing. And it's like, hang on, is this a video game? And it's almost like a realistic video game as how she approaches the different sort of paths that she has to take in order to hack what she's hacking. and it's very cleverly done. So I kind of enjoyed that, and then yeah, it was well done, and Mark Rylance was pretty good in it, even though he wasn't in it for very long. He's pretty damn good in it. So
yeah,
worth a watch. 4OD, I think you'll catch it on.
okay.
But it was a joint production with Peacock. Fucking names of streaming service.
Peacock, Tiny Willy. So, all right, what did I watch? I've been watching the second series of War of the Worlds, which is the French Studio Canal version.
There's a third series now as well.
There is a third series now, but
yes.
I haven't done the second series because I forgot about it, because it came out when the shit BBC War of the Worlds came out, which I want because I was hoping for a book accurate version of it. I started watching that. I kind of got I'm a little fucked off because the aliens are human.
They're human. You see, where the second season left off, I kind of thought I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Okay, I won't spoil it. I'll just say I'm surprised there's a third series. Now that I'm middle of the way through the third season, I'm thinking, okay, this is getting quite interesting. What the fuck are they doing? So yeah, I stick with it because the third season's kind of like. I can only watch it in a couple of episode drabs because it is really fucking depressing. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, the only thing is that on Disney Plus, it seems to have trouble buffering the damn thing. So I can't watch it because it keeps like going, and it's frustrating. How to pause it, go for a cigarette, go for a wee, maybe have a cup of tea, come back, try and watch it again, which is a very big annoyance because these platforms shouldn't be doing this. I'm doing it in HD too. So we're talking 2-3 megabyte stream from a 120 megabyte line download. Shouldn't be happening. It's their servers, not my fucking connection, which is annoying. So yeah, I watched that. I started watching that. I'm on episode 3 now. So that's my watch of the moment. But there's been some interesting things going on. Have you seen the Little Mermaid trailer?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm by the way, we are now live on YouTube. Just severely.
Yeah, we were. I checked while you were yammering, and we're a couple of minutes behind. I'm not sure about Facebook because I don't do Facebook, so you might want to check Facebook to see if we're still live on Facebook. It's yes. I watched the Little Mermaid trailer. The first thing is it's the girl can sing, and she's quite young, and just through she's young. She took a job. And for that, you shouldn't really rag on her. Disney. Now, if this was back 15 years ago and this happened, probably wouldn't have a problem with it. But because of the approach to everything now, it's difficult not to notice this stuff. Yeah,
it's difficult because Disney. Look. They're remaking all their movies, right? No offense to you, Disney. Ariel in the books, everywhere that she is. Sorry.
Who's ringing and why didn't you put your phone on silent?
I thought I had. But she was white, right? She's white. She's white in the Danish Tale because she's Danish. And she's white in the cartoon. Right, you've got this incredibly talented young lady, and she is. You've given her orange hair, and yet you've given her black skin. How do you think people are going to react? You've set up this girl, right? But what I found is that yes, there has been an incredibly bad response to this, and yes, I have seen some racist comments, not nearly at the level that they are claiming. But then the BBC put out a story saying the amazing response to the Little Mermaid trailer. And I'm like, the amazing response to the Little Mermaid trailer. It's almost like they're pushing an agenda, BBC, who should have no agenda at all.
We're not supposed to have an agenda.
I've seen the trailer. I don't think it is as bad as everybody's made out. People are saying, it looks really bland. The underwater scenes look really bland.
I'm with them. It does look. It looks like a really nicely filmed stage musical rather than a film. Does that make sense?
But all I give a shit about is if you've got a Jamaican lobster singing under the sea. I'm there. I'm there for that shit.
There for that one.
I'm there for that shit. How can you not smile at that song with that accent going under the sea? I mean, you just can't not smile. I don't care how bad the movie is. If it's got that song in it, I'm there. I know people don't like musicals, but that song always makes me smile.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I won't cancel my Disney Plus because I pay next to nothing for it. I think it costs me the equivalent of about £8 a year at the moment because they've got some deal going with my mobile or cell provider here. So I get it for like £8 a year at the moment. So I won't cancel it because on the odd occasion something really good turns up on it. You know, as I said, you know, Nigel watched that Thai cave documentary, which was really fucking good. So there is the odd good thing on it. Pinocchio's out. I haven't watched that. I haven't even.
Everyone said it's shit, and
Yeah,
I don't have the
why.
inclination to watch it. So I like the original one, but why? I know why they do it. I've told you it's nothing to do with the fact that they want to. They have to remake these things so they can hold on to the copyright. Yeah, because if they don't use it in a certain period of time, it defaults. Like Winnie the Pooh, because they haven't done anything with the copyright, has now fallen into general use, and that's why you've got the horror film Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And this is another one of these reasons. That's one of the reasons.
So who made that Christopher Robin movie not that long ago with the
Disney.
live action? So it wasn't that long ago. That was quite a good film, from memory. But
when was that? Because it was, I think it's about 4 years. If you don't use it within 4 years,
and then it was probably more than 4 years ago. But for me, I mean, I think Disney Plus has been the scourge really because now Disney just have to put content out on there. So they're just making shit. They're not making quality content. Obi-Wan proves that. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV series, was a turned down movie after Solo failed. Solo lost money. After Solo failed spectacularly at the cinema, right? Obi-Wan was shelved. And then they went, oh, we can do Disney Plus TV series, get it out there, make loads of fucking money. And you can tell it was a movie script converted into a fucking boring ass shitty TV series, right? That's the other thing that I hold as a Star Wars fan. As a Star Wars fan, I hold the minutest, I'm talking like an ant's cock sized hope that Andor might be quite good because Andor was conceived and written as a TV series, right? So whereas most of these other things have been movies. So
my feeling goes like this: it's going to start off really well, it'll peak in the middle, and then it will just fucking go downhill. That's what my gut tells me, and everyone will be raving about it for the first 4 episodes, and after that they'll be like, You see,
I'm apparently I'm one of the minority. I genuinely like Rogue One as a movie. I like the whole film. I like how it was shot.
All right. What was the name of the planet that they picked Jyn Erso up on when she was being held captive? Jeddah.
Oh, no, that's the planet they go to afterwards. Sorry, I can't remember the name of the planet where they pick her up.
Okay.
But
what was your father's name?
Oh, fuck it. I've read the book as well. I've read the entire book about his story. I've forgotten. But I generally like the film. I generally like the movie, and yet you're going to ask me about the Darth Vader scene, but that's not why I like it.
No, I'm not going to say anything about the Darth Vader scene. It's getting you to remember everything that isn't the Darth Vader scene is the thing. So my first problem is Cassian Andor as a character was fucking shallow as a puddle. We had 2 bits of characterization from him, which was the bit where he fucks the guy over at the beginning, which was great characterization, and it's like, oh, this is promising. And then I'm struggling.
Yeah, but you see, I think that was where she stood in and made loads of changes. And I think if Gareth Edwards had put the movie out that he genuinely wanted to put out, I think you would have seen more characterization there. Because I think that's where he was going with it.
What I would have done is I would have said to Gareth Edwards, I would have gone, because we take so many fucking takes of this, I want you to do your version, but you have to film on the side the family-friendly version. And then we'll put the family-friendly version together in an edit and your version. And then we'll call it the Star Wars Black, like the figures series. And we'll say, boom, this is the more adult version, and let people watch that. And then have something else. Oh, yeah, sorry. Friend bought a book out recently.
Okay,
So
are we plugging Dave? Are we having a middle?
We're plugging. We're plugging.
Shameless plug time.
Shameless plug time. Yeah. So Dave, sorry to pull you off on a detour. I've already. It's annoying because I've already read this book, but I'm not going to go through it and read it and see what he changed, because I think I helped him up until the third or fourth draft. So I'll have to go beyond the third or fourth draft to see, if anything's any good. And guys, if you're doing any comments, we can't bloody see anything at the moment. I'll blame Keith. It's just easier.
Oh, I'm in the chat. If you've got the same problem as me this week,
I can't type anything in the chat.
I know I can't even see the comments. So I know that your lovely lady wife is in the chat, and she said in relation to my Little Mermaid comment, it's not even red hair. I don't care about anything else, but she has to have bright red hair, not orange. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I agree with her. You got to agree with me about the Jamaican crab singing Under the Sea, or lobster, whatever it was. Just needs that song. And don't fuck with that song. Do not fuck with that song, Disney.
Yes.
Chuck, all right, buddy, says he's decided to cancel Disney Plus because there's nothing on it, and he was not watching anything. Orange, not red. Yeah.
So my wife's right, because my wife, right, because the comments aren't working. Yeah, my wife is screaming to try and get her attention from downstairs. So yes, so I've switched the comments on the studio so I can see. Can't see the thing. So yeah, I don't want to rag on the actress because she's fucking. She comes across like she's fucking 14 years old.
I don't think it's the actress's fault.
No, it's not the actress's fault.
If you're going to be offered a part in a movie like this, you're going to fucking take it. This is Disney again, ramming agenda and identity politics, and they've set this girl up.
What I would have done is I would have. I'm hoping they'll move the location of the Little Mermaid to somewhere tropical. Then that makes up. Anyway, I'm making excuses for the film. It's the girl doesn't deserve it. Disney deserve it. I think she looks weird with the orange hair, red hair. Tanner's right. From source material, as in the Disney film source material, not the book source material, the Hans Christian Andersen novel, short story, or whatever it is. Yeah, red hair. The problem is it's gonna, and no one's gonna see it. It's gonna be like all the other ones. When I say no one's gonna see it, people will see it, but not in like significant numbers. It won't be it'll do as well as The Lion King did. There you go.
Is it going to have a cinematic release, or is it going to be like Pinocchio? And
I don't know. That's the other thing too, is I don't know, because Pinocchio I was expecting a cinematic release, and then I found it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to go to the cinema. I've got a bloody cinema pass. It's burning a hole in my pocket, literally.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think we're just seeing that lull in films at the moment because there's nothing out here for the rest of the year. Avatar at the end of the year.
Yeah, Avatar. I'm not sure about that because Avatar came out when we didn't have 3D technology. Now we've had 3D technology. We've got over that. And they're not going to put me on a little kind of springy horse thing and put me in front of a 3D screen with goggles on, pretending I'm riding a Ikron or a Banshee or whatever, which is the way I enjoy Avatar.
I mean, James Cameron seems to think it's going to work. James Cameron does have an uncanny ability to make fucking massive blockbusters that make mega money. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He still made one of my favorite movies of all time. So that one as well. There is another one that I genuinely love and still love. And that the director's cut version, I might point out, not the version that was shown in the cinema that the studio dicked with, and that would be The Abyss. Love The Abyss.
But if you know anything, if you know anything about that, did you know that that the cast was so fucked off with James Cameron, they all wrecked their trailers on the same day and walked off set.
I do.
And James Cameron had to punch a safety diver because he'd fucked with his mask, so water was getting in with it. So the guy was trying to force it onto his face, so he's breathing, but he's got water and air, and he's choking on it. So he had to punch him in the face. Everything just went to shit on that. That was
there is some quite interesting documentaries about it, but they made a great movie. It's a great flick. And it's what he does have an uncanny ability to produce really good popcorn movies. I mean, if we were talking about, I think every James Cameron film is a popcorn movie.
So I kind of film. It was after Titanic is where he lost me. I was all for James Cameron, so I got to Titanic, and then when he did Titanic, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but Titanic's not for you. But Titanic was still, most successful movie at the time, and a lot of people enjoyed it. So
and despite liking Avatar, the ride, I really didn't like the film. I thought the film was boring.
I kind of like the film, but again, he's making it for an audience, and it was the highest grossing film of. Is it still the highest grossing film?
Don't know how. I think it was off the back of Titanic was the first thing, and then 3D tech after that.
I don't think Avatar 2 is going to make the money that Avatar 1 made, but I'm willing to bet that somehow it'll make $1 billion. I don't know if they'll just roll the hype machine into full swing and market it in such a fucking way that it does it. But I can see, despite what anybody says, I can see Avatar making a shitload of money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's a little frustrating. I don't know, because there was some. I'm trying to think, they've got Wakanda Forever, which I'm not excited for. I felt that the first one, yeah.
There's a full trailer for Picard season 3, featuring.
Is there?
There is.
What did I do wrong in this life to deserve that?
It's got the full next gen crew. It's all of them, but they haven't shown much Brett Spiner, but apparently he's in it somehow or another. So,
just his head. Just his head in a jar. That's oh my God, it's the most irritating TV. It's written poorly. It doesn't feel like it's in the same universe. It doesn't. It's not what Star Trek was supposed to be, the hopeful view of the future. Yeah, to say, hey, you know what? We put all our differences aside, and now we've moved on. Doesn't mean we haven't got problems. Doesn't mean we haven't got things to deal with. Yeah, and it's just crap. It's there for the sake of that. It's a vehicle for fucking Patrick Stewart's ego. Yeah, and the worst thing is, it's a crap vehicle too. Yeah, it's all right if it's a good vehicle. So if Bryan Cranston's vehicle was Breaking Bad, yeah. It's Ferrari of a TV show.
It is an Austin Allegro in the body of an Aston Martin. So it's got the body of an because it looks fucking pretty. It does, right?
I think Picard.
But then you lift the head and it's an Austin Allegro engineer.
Yeah.
Oh, Picard. I mean, production values wise. Hadn't said that. No, Picard not. Discovery, yes, but Picard's definitely got a much lower budget. But I mean, that first episode was pretty enough. And the Stargazer was pretty cool. So sometimes it looks good. All right, we'll say DB7 with the body of an Aston Allegro. Because DB7, it's a bit meh. But
no, it's not. It's a big flaming dumpster floating down the river, and everyone's watching and pointing at it with Captain fucking Picard. No, I'm sorry. It's ruined Star Trek for me. I tried watching Star Trek. I can't watch Star Trek anymore now.
Discovery did that for me way before Picard did.
I see the thing with Discovery is the thing with Discovery is I could always separate Discovery out because there was hardly anything in it. It felt like an alternate show, and I could live with the fact that it was an alternate show. That was fine. But as soon as I put Picard in it, and then actually fucked with the continuity, is when I was just like, kind of, All right, so let's get this right, okay? In The Expanse, which is set at roughly before Captain Kirk's time, they can fabricate panels for ships out in space using 3D printing and then apply them to the ship. Yeah, in the book, they leave it out of the TV show, but it's in the book when they were fixing the Rocinante, they literally rip the panel off, they fabricate one out whilst outside to match exactly and pop it in there, yeah, using a robot. Yeah, and I'm not talking an android, we're just talking about a flying around, busy bee, kind of got arms and thrusters robot thing, yeah? But they need to make androids to do this, yeah? They could print ships. They should be that sophisticated, yeah? They can replicate a fucking lasagna. The lasagna argument, yeah? If they can replicate a lasagna, they should be able to 3D print an entire starship. Yeah? And then they have a crew come in and do the stuff. I just love the idea that it's like we could do it's like an engineer sitting there eating a lasagna. Hang on a second, we could print an entire spaceship. Because it's just like it's come out the micro. Shit joke, but hey.
Yeah, no, no, I get you. I haven't liked Picard. You get the member berries of seeing the crew, especially Worf. You know. But they are bringing back Ben Sisko. I'm fucking telling you, Sisko is going to turn up in this.
No, you said that last season. It didn't happen.
No, I know, and I think it's going to happen this season. I genuinely think it's going to happen this season.
Not going to happen.
Too many little fucking DS9 member berries in it. I'm willing to lay a small bet on this. A small bet. I know how you're already, but
you owe me 2 T-shirts already. One of them says "I told you so." And the other one says, fucking called it. All right? They're the 2 T-shirts that you owe me.
I told you so. Well, you could possibly have a third one in bright red or pink. I'll buy you both the T-shirts in bright pink. You did not specify a colour.
Still haven't. That's like 3-4 years now.
We've
had a pandemic in between. Sorry.
True. But if Sisko turns up in this, I will not bat an eyelid. Put it that way, because I think it's going to happen. I think they're just hinting at it because season 2 and 3 were shot together, right? Season 2 and 3 have been made together. It's already in the can. That's how they got a fucking trailer for it and everything, right? They shot seasons back to back because they thought he was going to die. Okay, it's the truth. Sorry, ladies and gents, but it's the truth.
We thought Patrick Stewart was going to expire before we did it. Yeah.
So they shot both together. So sowing those DS9 seeds throughout the whole of that second season is look, we were giving you hints, we were giving you fucking clues, and I still think that's what they're doing. It's woke as fuck, and that actor's, what's his face?
That doesn't matter. I'll be honest with you. It's crap, and my camera's gone off because I didn't put the right settings on. I knew I didn't put the right bloody settings on it, so it's all right. It's overheated. There's so many stuff's notorious for overheating.
Give it a moment. Give it a moment.
I need to get it sorted. Anywho, it does. The thing is it's just crap. It is so crap, and it's so cliched crap too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you've got the black person back in time. Well, obviously love racism. Oh, really? Fuck me.
But this is the studio. No, this is now. They are weaponizing this now. They are,
and then it's like Picard's never been able to form a relationship because of his mother. And his father was a bastard.
The rumor is that Picard's got a son, and it's going to have come from that bird that he picked up with, on Riser. So that's the rumor.
That's why we didn't see her.
Exactly. You're not allowed to hate this because this is what the studios are doing. They're doing it very effectively, or trying to do it very effectively with the Lord of the Rings, but it's failing. That anybody that doesn't, if you don't like this series, if you say that this is bad, you're a nist. If you don't like the actress that plays Galadriel, you're a misogynist, even though she's a shit actress, right? And her resting bitch face is seriously bad, right? Then if you don't like elves of color, you're a nist, you're a racist. If you don't like, the fucking Irish Times the Irish Times, God bless you, the Irish Times. You know, I don't think I'd ever fucking say this on this thing. The Irish Times is written an article deeply offended by Rings of Power because of the way these goddamn hobbits, not hobbits, are portrayed. Because they are a bunch of assholes that leave their kin behind, and they've all got really sort of comical Irish accents. To be sure. I tell you, I'm waiting for one of them to go. To be sure. Watch your little bit. I'm just waiting for.
Oh, look, a potato.
yeah. That's all it. But for fuck's sake, right? Amazon themselves, who were told they can't call these hobbits, right? If you look at that fucking X-ray bullshit, right? When it comes up. They even say she plays an early hobbit. It's like, oh god, the hobbits weren't around in the Second Age. If you know anything about Tolkien lore, the hobbits were not even a fucking little white blob singing around in somebody else's testicles. They weren't there. and then this week, and Gareth, this episode was gloriously bad. We are on the island of Numenor. Of the men that literally died to help the Valar. So the Valar granted them extremely long lives. All of these people lived for 500 years, right? They were granted extremely long life for the Valar for supporting the elves. And on a pedestal, you have a Numenorian. And I am only paraphrasing slightly, going, these bloody elves coming over here and taking our jobs. That was there. In an Amazon TV series, Lord of the Rings. My mind is just blown.
Mate, I would really appreciate if they could make Lord of the Rings great again. Do you know what? Peter Jackson must be loving this because he went, you all hated The Hobbit. Now it looks like a fucking masterpiece, doesn't it?
Well, look, The Hobbit would have been good as a 2-movie thing. He got carried away and tried to make it a single book into 3 movies, and it didn't work into 3 movies. I quite liked them exploring some of the stuff that the Silmarillion mentions. So seeing the White Council, which you don't see in the Hobbit book, that I appreciated. Right, meeting Radagast, who's mentioned in various different places, that was quite good. But it dragged on too long. It dragged on too long, and you didn't need that 3rd film. If it had been a 2-movie experience, it would have been perfect. Unfortunately, it went on too long. That's the only problem that I have with it.
My first problem was the fucking frame rate.
That was the first movie.
Frames a second.
Yeah, but they had 2 versions of it, didn't they? And that was weird. Yeah, they didn't do that with the second one, The Desolation of Smaug. And The Desolation of Smaug is still widely regarded as as the better of the 3. And don't forget, your god is the voice of.
He did a really good job. You should watch the effort that he put into that.
He did.
Yeah,
he did. Do you know what? Right. The one thing I will say about the Rings of Power, and I can't fucking believe I'm going to actually say this, but you know the really annoying black dwarf bird that is being really annoying in all the fucking interviews, right?
Yeah.
She's one of the best things in it. I'm not joking. She's genuinely one of the best things in it. She's the only thing that actually makes me smile. And I can't believe I'm saying that. And that I mean, it's really, truly fucked up for me to be saying that, but she is genuinely one of the best things in it.
Does she offer anyone any pies?
No,
because every time I see a picture, a picture with a pie for some reason. It's driving me wild.
She does do cooking in it, and so she's not just short of that, but genuinely, she needs a fucking beard. I will say that. I'm sorry. I don't care what fucking Tolkien bloody professor you drag out of it. It's in the movie. It's in the fucking book. You can fucking dress it up any way you want. You can say, well, no, actually, Tolkien didn't really mean that. Yes, he fucking did. Right? Yes, he fucking did. But anyway, we won't go further than that. Apart from her not having a beard, she's generally quite funny and likable. If you ignore her in real life being interviewed and everything, she's genuinely quite good. The dwarf stuff is okay. Elrond should have long fucking hair. If that actor had long hair, he would actually be quite a good Elrond. Except for the terrible writing, but the look, if he had long hair, would work. It's just it's dreadful. And the thing is, I mean, they are dicking with the law. They are dicking with the law. They're if the bloke that Gladriel is with is Sauron, that's a fuck up, because Sauron was caught in Middle Earth and brought to Numenor, and he was quickly released, and he started doing a bit of a wormtail. And that's how Numenor gets sunk. But you know, the amount of money they spent on this, if they'd actually hired a half decent writer, this could have been good.
Well, I think they did at first. There's rumors whether they had some decent writers and stuff. But if you remember, I think we covered it ages ago.
They fired somebody, didn't they? They fired one of the Tolkien scholars.
They fired Tom Shippey, who was the what do you call it? He was the guy. Oh, there's my video. Hopefully it should stay on. They fired Tom Shippey, who was the Tolkien scholar, and there were a load of other writers too that quit. Because what I've been told is, and you'll do it, you do it too. It's not like House of the Dragon, where it's like kind of, you should see Matt Smith's character because you know he's a right evil asshole because when he was doing his lancing competition, he tripped the horse. Yeah, so you know that he's a bastard. It's like kind of, they went to a castle. This castle has a story. Not interested. What happened in the TV show? But this did this, and this did that, and then these are the people who fitted Dom Toretto's tires, sort of thing. And it's like, kind of, dude, if you're having to go backwards and fill in stuff to make it more interesting, they fucked up. You should be talking about what they're doing. You should have a dragon, something, some kind of setup. Yeah, I don't know what's in those 15 pages that they bought, but there must be something of some interest that they can latch on to.
This is slightly disingenuous, right? They own the rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And the Return of the King has extensive appendices, right? So this is slightly disingenuous. What those appendices mainly cover, though, is the Third Age. So people's issue is that they set this in the Second Age where they don't have that much. But there is still a lot in the Lord of the Rings that talks about the beginning. So in the books, there is mention of the trees, there is mention of where the elves come from, there is mention of the Valar, there is quite a lot of mention of Numenor because of where Aragorn descended from, and where Gondor came from, and Isildur. But so there's more than 15 pages. That is a slightly disingenuous thing put out by the Phantom Menace, right? But I understand why they summed it up in that way, because it isn't that far from the truth.
Right. So it just, Matey wanted Game of Thrones, so he bought Lord of the Rings. Rather than, he could have bought House of the Dragon, or what he could have done is he could have bought the rights to Game of Thrones and remade it and put all the magical shit that they didn't put in there.
Or made that fat fuck write the last book so they kind of decent.
No. He could have done. No, he could. Then while they're making it up until the last book that he wrote, get him to write the book, and we'll get him to write the end of the series. He would have been loved worldwide if he'd have remade it as close to the book as possible. Yeah, and got George R.R. Martin to finish it off. And then he would have owned Game of Thrones at the same time too. There was an opportunity there, but he wanted to ruin Lord of the Rings. Which gets on my tits.
It's okay. I mean, his giant penis blew up this week, so and shot its
load. Dude, that was tragic. That was one thing. It was one. It's tragic when these things happen, but two, there was no one on board, and three, the safety feature to separate said capsule from the rocket worked. So if there was someone in there,
it worked. But actually, if you watch the footage, it didn't have to get fucking mucked around, and they are when you compare it to what happens with SpaceX's one, they reckon that if you've been a human being in there, you still would have got knocked around a fair bit. So
if you know anything about ejector seats, if you don't sit in an ejector seat right and you pull the fucking thing, it'll snap your spine like a dried twig.
Yeah, true. Apparently, I mean, because they cut away from the footage, the booster did hit the ground intact, so it didn't blow up, which is what it looked like it did. But the booster apparently hit the ground intact. But look, I'm sorry, I've never liked Jeff Bezos. I don't like Blue Origin because of what they threw their toys out the pram when Musk got his contract. Even though I just don't like Jeff Bezos. You're not a fucking astronaut. You didn't really go into space. You sat on a giant fucking Dr. Evil style penis and flew to the edge of space. I don't care scientifically if it's space. You didn't go through the fucking atmosphere. You didn't spend months in training to become a real astronaut. You're not a fucking astronaut. And wearing a cowboy hat is just fucking chav.
Sorry. I don't like him because he looks like a fucking weirdo. Does I wouldn't leave him with my kids. I'm gonna leave your kids here. You can leave him with Jeff. No, I don't care if he is a billionaire. You can take him to Disney. I don't want to leave him with him.
Don't get me wrong. Elon Musk is not exactly all there. But fuck me. This week from Pad 35, where you were a few weeks ago, you bastard. A booster took off 14 times. That thing has flown, all-time record. And not only did it do that, it had to fire 5 times in space because it had to do 3 fucking different launches in space. So it flew to the height of above the fucking space station, dropped off something there, then it burned the booster again and dipped in, dropped something off there, then it did it again to drop off all the Starlinks. I mean, that's just, this guy is just fucking phenomenal. And that's good. NASA can't get a damn thing off the fucking ground because they're using hydrogen. Yes. Anyway, sorry, I'm space geeking now, but
yes, we know you're a space nerd or space cadet. Sorry, it's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, as I said, this is completely unstructured and whatnot. What was it? There's something gaming that I want to talk about. Can't bloody remember now.
Oh, the new Zelda game. The new Zelda game's got released.
I saw the things for the Zelda game. What was it? There was oh yes, my PS5 has eaten my copy of Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince. It's eaten it. It's literally jammed in the thing and it will not eject. I can't even manually eject the damn thing.
Oh shit, dude. Sorry, man.
So I am, because what I was doing is I was putting it in there, pulling the case off and ejecting it manually, yeah? And it fucking ejected it without me doing it. And I was like, oh, great. So I pressed the thing. And what's happened is it's jogged the disc off of the mounting so that the feed thing can't grab it and pull it through. I tried pulling it out with a pair of tweezers.
Can you not take the cover off and get inside and take off the lid?
No, you can take the cover off, but you can't get inside. You have to do if you want to take the disk drive out, you've got to go through about 8 layers to get there. Ooh, I watched a video on it and I'm like, oh, I couldn't find my bloody. I was going to do it Friday night, but I couldn't find my my hex-headed screwdrivers. I can't remember what they call them, the torque ones.
I know.
Real pain in the ass. But yeah, it wasn't good.
But there was a lot of speculation that this Zelda game will be the last Switch title. They think that Nintendo are readying a Switch 2. I don't care as long as they release it on the Switch, because Zelda Breath of the Wild is, for me, I fucking love that game. And I'm really looking forward to this one. So rumor is because 2022, you get to play Zelda in this one. And not just Link. Yeah, that's the rumor. They don't show any of it in the trailer. In fact, they don't tell you anything of the story really. It's called the Tears of Tears of something. But they're promising it to be a massive game, at least bigger than Breath of the Wild. And if you really play through Breath of the Wild and do everything, that you can spend fucking years in that game. So I mean, for a Switch game, and let's face it, the Switch is, the least powerful of all the consoles. To build a game of that level of detail and size, it is a technical marvel, in my opinion. When you look at like games on the PS5, PS4, which are much, much more powerful systems that don't have worlds of that level of detail, it's quite incredible what they did with Zelda. It really is. It was feat of engineering in terms of software. And I love it. But I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love
Doom
it.
2016 on it?
No, I haven't, so I can't Can't say that. I don't own many Switch titles, to be honest. I don't get a lot of time to play games, but I will be fucking buying that one. I will be there with bloody bells on. So, for that game.
Yeah, it was I can't remember what that was. Oh yeah, it's like Halo Infinite was review bombed because everyone's pissed off with 343 because they were offered split screen co-op and they said, "Are we going to do split screen co-op?" And then they've gone, "No." And then their roadmap to their multiplayer game didn't work out as planned and stuff. And I find it mad because you should be at a level where you should be able to be knocking out levels and bits quite competently. Especially,
wasn't that game like delayed by a year as well?
Yes, it was supposed to be a launch title.
It was delayed because they were getting the multiplayer working. Well, that was the reason they gave, wasn't it?
I don't know. And then they released the multiplayer before the single player. And I don't know if they would have turned around and said, "Look, what we're going to do with Halo Infinite is we're going to just release it piece by piece." Yeah, it's going to take us for as long as we can't. That's why it's called Infinite. Yeah, and if they turn around and said, "Hey, we're going to do one lot of story this year. In 2 years' time, we'll do the next lot of story. We're not going to change the game engine. We'll add some new assets in there, maybe some new mechanics and bits. Nothing huge, but it'll be like an expansion pack." It would have worked better, but no, it hasn't come through, which is annoying. So I'm trying to find it because there was something.
Did you get it on? Is it on like the Xbox Pass thing?
Yeah, it's on the Xbox. I played it when I had COVID, so I associate Halo Infinite and COVID because I was with the flu basically. I just had toast of the flu and I had to sort it out. And the other one was the Sony VR2. Sony VR2 is coming out, and it's going to have no backwards compatible games. So you've got all those VR titles for the first Sony VR, and you won't be able to play them on the VR2. Apparently, it's really good, but I don't know how they can't downgrade it or make it work. So yes, that's
interesting.
That. Yeah,
that's not. Good.
Did you see this was like a month ago? The thing with Mark Zuckerberg where he was doing the metaverse and he took a picture and it was the shittiest picture ever.
I heard about this.
So it's amazing when you talk to these people who go, "Oh, we can use algorithms to predict people." They have the least understanding of people. That's the funny thing, is they have the least understanding of people. Yeah, they understand, say, like distribution curves and this, that, and the other, and it's like kind of, "Oh, you want to live in the metaverse and this." And he took this picture and it was fucking garbage. It was the worst thing I think I'd seen come out of any company that claims to produce games.
He's trying to build that world from Ready Player One. He's trying to be what's his face from Ready Player One.
I don't want to live in that bloody world.
No, I don't.
It was a shit film. Sorry. I didn't like it.
Well, the book is better. The first book is better. The second book is garbage. It's full. I mean, Jesus Christ, talk about woke smack in the face. It is garbage, the second book, but the first book is quite good. But the world itself is shit. That's why everybody's in the fucking game all the time, because the real world is shit. And I don't want to be living in that world. And despite what we're going through at the moment, I don't think it's going to be like this forever. We've been through eras like this. Go back through history. We've
been through worse. This is still the best time to live with these problems. Yeah, I wouldn't put me back in fucking medieval times. I'd be dead. I'd be dead by now. I wouldn't have made it to 40. You wouldn't have made it to 40. Me and you would be dead on some battleground with some fucking arrows poking out of our asses.
It is funny. It is funny, but yeah. I'm sorry about your PS5. Genuinely, I am.
Oh, I'm pissed because I hadn't played it that much, and then I was about to go and play it, and it just keeps eating discs, and I'm just livid with that because it's like 240 quid, and I can't even promise that I'll get a new disc drive in the PlayStation. That's the bit that gets me, because I can then have this problem again and then pay another 240 quid to fix it again after the 3 months warranty is expired. It's only 3 months warranty. So, but I'll be honest with you, I'm going to keep hold of it. And the moment it goes wrong, the first time it doesn't eject this, I'm just sending it straight back. And I said, no, I'm going to make you fucking pay for this. And then I'm going to say, after this happens, the new one, I want 3 months. I want 3 months on that one. and then again and again and again until they either give up, or give me one with a decent disc drive in it. Because I'm not happy with that. I really am. It's grating on me like something great. Because we've been watching the Harry Potter films, and me and you are planning to like the review of the Harry Potter films, like versus the books and things that they left out the films and stuff like that. And it was like Friday night. Sat down, went for a meal, came back, watched Half-Blood Prince, and then I went to go and eject it, and it wouldn't come out. And then spent the rest of the evening trying to get the sodding thing out. Probably scratched the fucking disc and ruined my 4K disc, which is part of a box set too, which is annoying.
Although you could replace that one disc.
No, because it's part of a box set. It's not. It doesn't say, because if you get it on 4K or it will say Half-Blood Prince. It won't say year 6 or 7 or whatever it is. So
reach out to I've heard in the past, if you email them, sometimes you can purchase a single disc from a box set. But I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, I haven't bought DVDs or Blu-rays for years.
I started buying 4K Blu-rays. Ever since I got 4K TV, 4K Blu-rays are fantastic. And it's because if you look at 4K streaming, the only two things that I've seen that have really gone on 4K streaming is what do you call it? Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, surprisingly, and Thor. They're the two best looking 4Ks.
Because you and I have got, I think I've got the next year on from your TV, but you and I have effectively got the same TV. I think mine is a year later than your one. But I think Netflix 4K looks pretty damn good on that TV.
Oh, put a 4K Blu-ray and watch that.
I haven't got a 4K.
And you'll see there's a difference. There's a clear bitrate difference.
I think by the time that PS5s are on the fucking shelf here, that I can actually go and buy one and not pay a ridiculous price for it. That'll be when I get it. So I'll probably see you at yours before that happens. I'll probably pick one up in the fucking UK. But I'm quite impressed watching Stranger Things on that, and Amazon, because I can't get Disney natively on that. The other thing, the problem with Disney is that Disney basically gave all the rights to all of their shit to an Indian company called Hotstar, right? And they own all of the fucking rights for like years to come. So Disney Plus had to do a kind of link up with Hotstar here in order to launch, right? So when you download the app, it's listed as Hotstar, not Disney Plus, even though when it's named as Disney Plus Hotstar, right? But Hotstar don't make a TV app in Thailand, so I have to stream from my phone, so I don't get 4K Disney. But I do get HBO, I do get Netflix, and I do get Prime. And I thought the Grand Tour, latest Grand Tour, was really good.
That was something I watched Saturday morning.
I was kind of
new Grand Tour.
That.
Let's talk about that, because that was. I like the Grand Tour. The last couple, because they filmed during lockdown, weren't as good because they didn't have the whole kind of. They couldn't go out to the level that they normally do with these things. But this one, I saw reports that one of them had an accident and it caused a falling out amongst the others. And it was Richard or James, which actually made it really entertaining to watch, because at one point they were going to have an accident. And they go through the Scandinavian countries from like Norway through to Finland towards Russia, which must have been done before the Ukraine war. And one of them had an accident in a tunnel. So you watch them and they're enjoying themselves and they're like, oh, this is not that bad. And they get to this bit, I think it's in Norway, or is it in Sweden?
It was Norway.
Anyway, they get to this like secret sub pen, which has got all these things down. It's a narrow corridor and the lights switch on as you go down it. And at the end is a red thing. And they don't know how far it is or whatever. And they're supposed to go through there as fast as they can. So I would have done it in reverse. Yeah, so you would have got it to the end of the tunnel, which would have been safer. But no, to make it more exciting, more dangerous, they had them going full belt down this tunnel towards the end and then have to brake towards the end. And I watched it as Clarkson went down there, and I was like, okay, fair enough, Clarkson went down there. And then James went down there. And my money wasn't Richard Hammond having the accident, because he was the one to have the accidents. And James hit that fucking wall. in his, what was it, yellow Evo, and he hit that wall, and dude, that was bad because he twisted the car, and he twisted it so it's the driver's side that got hit. Yeah, if it had twisted the other way, it probably might have lasted a bit better. Apparently, broke a rib doing that. And then, because that was bad. And then they had to cut him out, and this, that, and the other. And they recovered the car. They carried on because that's what they do. And it was like horrendous to watch. And then naturally, Richard Hammond drove down there at 30 miles an hour just to be on the safe side.
I knew he was going to do that when he got in the car, and he was like, "All right, I'm up for it." Right, and then I was like, he's going to drive it down there at like 5 miles an hour because he's not going to do that after that crash. His wife would fucking divorce him. That was. I enjoyed it. Scandi Flick, wasn't it called? But that Evo survived to the end. Brilliant.
Yes.
And I did like the pictures at the end, the pretend piss up in the private jet. That was quite fun.
I think that they flew them home as it went to shit. This is their way of saying sorry, sort of thing, which is fine. I think James May needed that, and then they did the thing with him getting stuck in the ice, with the Evo getting stuck in the ice, and I think I believe that was set up. Yeah, because there's no fucking way that they would have let him do that and leave him there, considering he just recently had an accident. Yeah, as a producer, you'd be shitting yourself. You know, we almost killed him once, and then we killed him the second time. Yeah, so it took us 2 shots to get him. But I always love watching the Grand Tour because they're always taking the piss out of it, and it's like it says the same appeal that YouTube has. That kind of feels genuine. This is what they're like. You know what I mean? These are the people like.
Unlike the last couple, the monologue at the end from Clarkson about celebrating the cars, and especially the Evo. Again, I've always liked those Top Gear episodes and Grand Tour episodes when you have a nice monologue that actually does, instead of them just wrecking the cars, that you know, and I mean, the Evo was pretty badly beaten up, but that they celebrated those cars because they were, all 3 of them, very good cars. They can say it wasn't a fucking rally car, but it was born out of the only reason that Audi exists is because of its rally heritage. And I mean, and that Audi is a phenomenal fucking machine. I've lucky enough to have driven an RS3, not the 4, but the RS, and that is ridiculously fucking stupid powerful car. So that 4 would have been ridiculous, but no, I liked Clarkson's monologue at the end, celebrating the greatness of those cars and how, even though they dicked about in them, how those cars have made it to the end. It was a pretty grueling journey that they did. So, and they, and they ended up in, no, not a Finland. I can't help myself.
True.
South Park has ruined Finland for me. South Park has truly ruined Finland for me.
All right, here's something you didn't know. Right, so the biggest drinker in the world are the Finnish, followed by the Irish, followed by us, So we rank number 3 in alcohol consumption per person on the planet. Finnish are number 1. That's why you get the expression, "Are you finished?" No, I'm joking. But here's the funny thing is, you can only buy alcohol in Finland from government licensed places at certain times. So you can't do what we can do in the supermarket here and go to the booze section and buy yourself a bottle of Jack Daniels or a nice wine or some vodka or some beer. You have to go, if it's over a certain percentage, to a special place.
I did not know that.
It's mad. It's mad because I was thinking just like booze, because it's like the thing that with Finnish people, they're like libraries and booze. So I was expecting it like go into a library and find a thing.
They've got weird times that they sell alcohol here. You can't buy alcohol between 2 and 5 or something stupid like that here. So they do have weird alcohol rules here. But yes, no, catch Grand Tour though on thingy. It was good. It was good. Are you queuing something up to show us?
No, I was gonna. I was just checking on something because my camera it now is whinging that I've got it in PC mode, and it's like, yes, I have it in PC mode. I know why, because the other browser's trying to access it. I was just having a look to see if I could find some other bits that I was going through. So it was just, I was just having a look at some bits, and I haven't watched the last bit of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, the one with the cats.
So it's not really a continuation of the story. The one with the cats is kind of weird. But it's got voices, well-known voices in it. The live-action one with Rory is a standalone issue of the comic.
Okay. So the other thing was, did you know who Jordan Peterson is, don't you?
Yes.
It sounds like Kermit the Frog. Yeah.
A little bit at times. Yes.
It's like he does. If I can picture Kermit the Frog talking to me as it is. Apparently they did a film with the guy from Star Trek. What's his name? Chris Pine, is it?
Yes.
Chris Pine, directed by Olivia Wilde and stuff. And they said, this is based on Jordan Peterson, when it's like kind of pseudo-intellectual. You mean Professor Jordan Peterson of Toronto University, who studied psychology for, I think, 15 years there. Yes, he's a pseudo-intellectual. That film, the controversy around that film's mad, yeah, because first things first, they had a part that was supposed to be played by Shia LaBeouf, yeah, so they kicked off Shia LaBeouf, yeah, because he was right going, are we going to film? Just do it! Like that. If you remember that old thing from like 2015, was that?
Yeah, we did so.
And he got kicked off and he got replaced by Harry Styles, who got paid the most of any actors. And apparently Harry Styles was knobbing Olivia Wilde to the point that it aggravated, is it Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal's relative? Yeah, it annoyed Maggie Gyllenhaal, so she wouldn't do any of the press events or anything. And she was then wife to the guy from Ted Lasso, Stukas.
Yes. Yeah. Jeff.
So
no, or something. I can't remember.
Anyway, so you've got Shia LaBeouf getting fired, then basing it on Jordan Peterson and not reading or doing any research on Jordan Peterson. It's like kind of, they heard he was the incel thing, so we'll just associate with him. And then Harry Styles replacing Shia LaBeouf and getting paid more than everyone else, whilst he was knobbing Olivia Wilde, which annoyed Maggie Gyllenhaal, yeah. And then on top of that, it looked like, and I don't know if it's true, it looked like Harry Styles spat on Chris Pine during a screening.
Yes, but they both vigorously denied this. But it does definitely look like that. And it definitely feels like the kind of press thing they put, oh, that never happened. Yeah, we all loved each other kind of Hollywood bullshit. So,
yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was genuine.
I just love how these people are fucking so disconnected. They're so disconnected. They can't even just bother to type Jordan Peterson into Google or understand, that you don't give your boyfriend all the money from the casting budget.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I will say this. I haven't heard Chris Pine speak recently, but every time I've heard the guy...
Chris Pine did the right thing and behaved like the Queen and kept his trap shut.
Well, you see, this is the thing I'll say about him, right? I've always liked Chris Pine. Now, I'm slightly biased because he's an American actor that actually knows something about England, right? Has lived here and genuinely quite likes living here and doesn't bullshit when he goes, oh, I love London. I spent all my time in London. You've been here 1 minute and know fuck all about London, like most actors in the world. But the thing I like about Chris Pine is he has a very British sense of humor. He's lived here long enough that he has the sarcastic British sense of humor. And I think that's why I like him. Like, Gareth, he would have laughed at your vlog.
Yes.
He would have got why your vlog was very funny.
The greatest vlog in the world, I'll have you know. It wasn't just any vlog. It was the greatest vlog in the world. Yeah.
I love how Americans don't get it. I genuinely love how they don't get it. It makes it more funny. God, we're bastards.
Yes. It's, yes, we have sophisticated humor. Yeah. The other thing too was, have you heard that Cobra Kai hasn't been confirmed for a 6th season?
Yes, but there is a film in
It
the
hasn't been
works.
cancelled, but it hasn't been confirmed for a 6th season, and the guys working on keeping their gob shut because I imagine they're hoping that the viewing figures come back good.
So there is a rumor.
I want one more.
I want a 6th season, but there is an active rumor that they are working on a 6th. They are working on a new movie set in the original Karate Kid universe, which means they've got to take Cobra Kai into account. So don't know how they're going to do that, but that is the rumor. No, there is no yet 6th confirmed season, but what's his face was on one of the talk shows recently and seemed pretty damn confident there would be. So it's done pretty bloody well on Netflix. So
the problem is, Netflix does 3 seasons and then gone. Lost in Space, for example.
But it's not always the case. That's not always the case. So they left it
OA,
open.
which 2 seasons.
But you bring back the OA. But they left it open, so they could cancel it, but I don't see them doing it because it's hugely popular. I mean, Cobra Kai is popular, so I see them bringing it back for a sixth and final season. I think they're going to bring it back for a 6th and final season, or they're going to do a movie, one or the other. And this rumored movie is what's going to be that finish it, and that's why they haven't confirmed a 6th season. Personally, I want one more season. You've got to finish off Kreese, because Kreese has got out of jail. You kind of gave him a mild redemption, but not a full redemption. You either need to redeem him. I love that
because I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea what they're going to do with Kreese. Seriously, it's like kind of, is he become like a serial killer? Or is that a karate-based serial killer? Is he going to find Miguel's head in the box?
He's escaped from prison, but what's his face admitted that it wasn't Kreese that beat him up, so therefore he was incorrectly imprisoned in the first place.
Yeah, so he escaped.
He's a fucking he's a free man anyway. So and he had a mild redemption, but at the same time he tricked the doctor. So is he going to be an ultimate bad guy and get the same kind of falling as Silver, or is he going to get the redemption that all the other characters have had? And I think they're going to redeem him in a roundabout way. I don't think it's going to be like a perfect redemption, but I think he's set for redemption. You know, I mean, whereas what's his face, Silver was never going to get redemption. He was pure fucking evil.
The guy loves playing it. Apparently, he loves being the bad guy. He just revels in it. He's just I get to be the.
He was full on cheesy bad guy, wasn't he? You know, it was all the fucking grins at the camera and full on nasty bastard, and he was very, very fucking good at it.
It's very entertaining. I enjoyed it.
I love it. I love how I God bless you, Nigel. I love it, but yeah, I almost find it amusing that Nigel picks on the this doesn't feel real. It's Cobra fucking Kai, Nigel. It's
not supposed to feel real. Star Trek doesn't feel real. Still enjoy that Star Wars.
It is pure fucking escapism, and it's wonderful. And it's done so well. It's done with love and care, and it's clearly made by people that love those films. And they are fucking iconic films. I mean, you know, show me someone like at our age, if you go wax on, they're going to go, what? You know, yeah. I mean, I love the fact that he's called his new book Waxing On. His autobiography is called Waxing On. Genius title. Fucking genius title. So, and you know, he's 60 something.
Yeah. He's the same age as Terry Silver.
How the fuck is that guy 60? I mean, I know he is. When I actually think about it, it's like, fuck me, the Karate Kids were like over 30 years old and he was 22 when he made that film. And he looked fucking young then. But how is he look that good at 60 something?
It's the guy who plays Kreese. He's in his 70s, almost 80. He looks fantastic.
Bastard.
Just looking after yourself and good genetics. You know, got the two combined, and hey, these things happen.
On juice diet in California.
Stay away from California. Just until they sort the shit out and then go back there when it's fine.
Talking of waxing on, unless you want me to get back onto the whole these fucking elves start coming over here taking our jobs, I think you should. I think we should put a pretty bow on this.
Okay. Sorry, because we've got no structure. I don't know where to fucking end it. If you know what I mean. Nothing you want to talk about. End
Not
it.
really. Not really. I will promise to finish watching. I admit I haven't finished watching because it's taken me fucking ages to download the rest of those episodes from. I will finish watching that this week. But I did rather get sidetracked with Brassic, which I genuinely adore. If you've never seen Brassic, brilliant little British sort of comedy crime thing, but it's genuinely brilliant and heartwarming.
And to point out, both my brothers are in the chat, and they're both giving you shit.
Why are
and
they
on that
giving you shit?
bombshell,
No, they're not.
Take those crumbs off your t-shirt, Keith.
I'm not seeing that. You bastards.
Oh, okay. I've got the live chat from the thingy. And on that note, we're sorry about we didn't have the things working, but these things happen. I can't even tell who's watching this. This whole thing's gone to cack. And on that note, we'll be seeing you next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And bye-bye.